Hey everybody. Say hello to Ziggy right over there. There we go. I have a camera on him. Yep. And he's going to start talking as I talk anyway. I figured I would just come back and, just talk a little bit. It's good for me to get things out sometimes. Now they've got 2 days since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. But then looking back on the whole week, you had a school shooting also on the 10th. So on the same day that Charlie Kirk was murdered. Then there were several crazy things that went on all throughout the world. Israel got into a little bit of a conflict as well with Qatar. That was interesting, which they've been chewed out for by President Trump. Uh, but that that poor little Ukrainian lady that was brutally murdered on a North Carolina train. So you have all of that occurring at one time, and I'm still raw from the losses that I've had. It's coming up on the 1 year anniversary of losing Gracie now. This month, I lost Gracie towards the end of this month. Next month, I lost, towards the beginning of October, I lost the other furry. I lost Sweetie. She was maybe about 16 or 17 years old. So I knew that she was close to death. And so I took her in to get her put down, unfortunately. It was that time. It was the most humane thing to do because nothing was working on her. She was so bad. But still, I miss her so much. And I'm planning to get another cat here before too long. Oh, stretch it out, Bubba. Stretch him out, buddy. Um, yeah, since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there's been so much that I've seen online. A lot of tears, a lot of people mourning him, a lot of people admitting that they didn't know who he was, or they didn't really agree with him, but the fact that he was assassinated, for speaking his opinion, really has them rethinking things. I've got a lot of friends that are more left leaning, and after everything that's happened, they're kind of rethinking a few things too. And when people start rethinking things about the political parties, um, I always tell people, if you're a Democrat, don't just suddenly switch over to the Republican Party. If anything, if you're a Democrat, move into the independent area. If you don't believe what they're doing right now in the Democrat Party, become an independent, you know, because you may not align completely with the Republicans. So an independent is better. I'm an independent. I've been an independent since I was 18 years old. So I've always voted as an independent. I've never been loyal to one side or another when it comes to politics. But I can honestly say I know quite a few Democrats that are switching to being independent now after what's happened with Charlie Kirk. And for good reason. They're also watching people on the Democrat Party side, mostly progressives, mind you. I haven't heard of one that's just simply, oh, I'm a Democrat, I'm liberal. I've never heard anybody give the same opinion of things as the progressives. So, yeah, and I blame it on the progressives. I do. I blame what has happened on the progressives in the Democrat Party. Fringes of each party, I don't care for. the really, really ultra mega side of the Republican Party, I don't care for them. Because a lot of them will do the same thing, or will talk about doing the same thing as what this little nutball did to Charlie Kirk. And I shouldn't call him a nutball. But, well, I called him worse in the other video. But it was justified, in my opinion, at that time, and I was also very angry. But this shooter, he's 22 years old, and took apparently, one semester of college and a hell of a lot of social media to turn this kid from just a normal 22-year-old, with his family. It didn't take long to get this kid radicalized. So they said it was more of the family said it was more of a slower transition, in at first. But apparently it blossomed within about a year or two. So that's what I had heard anyway. Instead of damning the shooter, I know, buddy. Instead of damning the shooter, I think we ought to pray for him. It's a better thing to do. Pray for this kid. All right? Pray for all of them out there. The ones that are celebrating and dancing and all that other crap. Pray for them too. Pray that somehow something touches their cold hearts and makes them realize that killing someone for their views is wrong. Anyway, there was a video I came across. There's a lot of videos I came across, really, of a few people that were there at the event. I actually was able to locate a video that showed the gentleman who was asking the question at the time that Charlie Kirk was shot and how he was feeling. He's a left-leaner and everything, but he believes very much in the question he was asking. But he also had said nobody deserves to die for their personal opinion or their beliefs. And he's absolutely right. And it's traumatized him as well. I worried about this guy too. After this happened, I thought, well, boy, the poor kid who was asking that question at the time, what the heck is he thinking? And how is he handling this? And I found out, he's handling it all right, it would seem, but he definitely, you can tell he's still shook by it. So, but there are other people that I found videos from. There was a gentleman that I found, and I'll put his name and his YouTube channel down below. I'm just going to play a little bit of the video that he put up on his channel describing the event of what he saw. And he wasn't very far away from where Charlie Kirk was when he was shot. So let's give a listen to this dude. And I noticed him especially for two reasons. One, I was seeing an awful lot of reactions from people, and two, he's got very, very nice blonde hair, and it's long, and I enjoy men with long hair. So he got my attention that way. But when I looked at his video, I was heartbroken for him. And you'll see what I mean here.
I was about 30 yards in front of Charlie, in front of the tent, in front of the prove me wrong tent. It was tightly packed. There were a lot of people there. And so we're all standing shoulder to shoulder, and I found like the perfect spot with like two short people in front of me, and I could see everything. It's kind of like scoring a good spot at a concert. That's what it felt like. We weren't far into it, We were on the second or third question. We were probably 20 minutes in, and they were talking about gun violence. I forget the exact question posed, but Charlie was responding to the question about gun violence when his neck exploded. And the shot rang out. It didn't ring out, it cracked out. From like where we were, I heard one rifle shot, and we're down in this pit, lots of concrete and buildings everywhere. It didn't echo, but it made a unique crack kind of report.
Sound. This poor fella's gonna have PTSD big time.
I had one thought. It was very quick, that maybe it's a joke. Maybe this is a gag. Maybe this is a piece of theater or stagecraft to really like drive home this important topic of gun control that is being debated. That thought did not last long.
My heart just breaks for this guy. And for everybody that had to view this. There were children there. Moms with their babies, on their chests. And there were families there. So there's going to be a lot of people that attended that event who are going to be traumatized by it. So I can understand everything that he's saying, but he makes a comment here coming up about roughly what happened right afterwards, and I found that to be pretty interesting.
It's like a super physical reaction that I had to thinking about this. Every time I've tried to tell my family what happened, or if I think about it, I get these involuntary shakes. Ugh.
I can imagine.
Trauma's a weird thing.
Poor dude.
He gets shot. It looks bad from where we are. We all hit the ground, and we're on top of each other, right? I'm on top of some dude, two other dudes are have fallen on top of me, and I am waiting for more bullets to start raining down into bodies. I'm ready for the mass shooting part to begin.
How horrifying would that be? You're sitting there, you're ducking down with a bunch of other people, and all of you are, because of everything that's been going on in America with mass shootings and things like that, you are just waiting for bullets to rain down on you. Yeah. That sucks. Ziggy moved over to the other side of the thing, and I can't move. He's playing with one of his toys. So we'll just go ahead and hide him. Anyway, going back to this gentleman, it was quite the chaos, as he'll explain.
Because man, it's the opportunity for it. We're down in this slaughter pit, and it's there are about 5 really scary seconds. Laying there, you can feel the panic rising. You can hear the panic in people's voices and cries. You can hear the confusion. After about 5 seconds, I think we all realized that automatic rifle fire is not going to start raining down from above. So everybody starts moving at the same time, just getting away. My instinct is cover, right? First thing, get to cover. The closest thing to me is a Turning Point USA tent, right? Like a 10 by 10 tent. It's got like the walls on it, and I get behind that and like put that in between like me and where the shot came from. I heard the shot over, it was to my left, behind me, and up. I stopped behind the tent and looked for danger. I looked for the threat. I looked for the gunman. I looked where I heard the shot come from. I looked at roof lines and skylines and what people were doing, because I needed to figure out what my next move is, where I was going, and I know that choice at that moment was incredibly important. I took a couple seconds, looked around, and saw nothing but running, panicked bodies going in a multitude of directions. I chose to enter the UVU building, the door that was closest to me, along with a whole bunch of other people. There were a lot of bodies going through this like tight 2-door entrance. And as I'm going in, man, we're all packed together. I start thinking I have those intrusive thoughts of maybe that's not the only attack. Maybe a bomb's about to go off where all these bodies are right here. Maybe there's a second gunman around the corner just waiting to unload where everybody's coming in.
Yeah, I can understand that, because you don't know what's going on. You're not sure if there's other shooters or if there's a bomb or whatever. So yeah, I can certainly understand that. I can't fathom, you know, having seen something like that personally. I just, well, I'm not going to play the rest of this. I invite you to go to his channel and see the entire video, because it actually is quite a long video. And you know, when it comes to what's happened here with Charlie Kirk, look who's back. But he's crawling down now. So when it comes to everything that's happened, there he goes. Everything is going to change, you know, now after this. I am pretty sure that we're going to see quite a change that's going to start happening. Already there are people, the numbnuts that have been celebrating his demise, basically. A lot of them are getting fired. They're being turned in. Probably the biggest one that I've seen was the one for the Office Depot. The video for that, where they refused to print up flyers and posters for a vigil. And they were calling it propaganda. Well, the gal that called it propaganda got fired. That person, I think it was a lady. Sounded like a lady. Anyway, they were fired. Same thing happened to on DC Comics. The Red Hood saga is now canceled because its original creator, I know her name is Gretchen, went on and celebrated basically Charlie Kirk's death. And the backlash came back. And bye-bye. That's happening in a lot of places. I know people that are literally finding these videos of these people, finding out where they work, and then canceling them, going to their bosses and getting them fired. Hey, you know what? The left did it to the right before. Why do you think that they may not do it back? Would you want someone who dances like a fool celebrating the death of somebody else? Would you want that person on your staff? Helping your customers? Talking to customers? You know? And if the person owns their own business, well, goodbye business. I mean, really. That's what's going to end up happening. So there's going to be a huge backlash, and I see tides that are going to start to turn. And I want to see those tides start to turn because I am so damn tired of all the violence that's going on out there because of a difference of opinion, a political difference of opinion. And it's not just the left that's doing it, the right does it too, to be honest. And I get sick of both sides. That's why I get pissed off whenever a Democrat calls me a Republican. I'm like, shove that up your ass. You know, I am not either a Democrat or a Republican. And it insults me if anybody calls me either one. So, yeah. And some people have tried to do it just to piss me off in general. It's like, you know what? Once I figure out that's what you're trying to do, it's like, whatever. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call this one done. But do go down and visit that gentleman's website, the one who I just played part of his story, and hear his whole story. And if you can help me out, I'm trying to grow the channel a little bit more. I don't want to grow it exponentially to where it's like huge. I don't need that. I would like to, get to 500 subscribers first. And I also need some hours too. I need people to watch my stuff. But I'll talk more about that later. Wouldn't mind having some more subscribers. More likes help too, because that helps the algorithm put me more in the rotation, so to speak. And hopefully, there's no shenanigans from YouTube that's holding my things back. I don't know. But I will keep putting more music up, as I am able to, because I have a lot of song lyrics that I've been holding on to for a while. And then I'll end up, getting ideas for songs too, or songs that lyrics I'll hear in my head and I have to write them down. So then I'll write them down, and then they're there for a while, and eventually I'll go, okay, I need to work this up, and I'll start to work it up, and then I'll put it through the AI app to get some music on there. And I I tweak that AI big time. I program it a little. So I do what I can to get my songs to come out on Suno the way that I want them to. So there will be more of the songs that I do. I will be sharing more songs from the Powers Bestowed, the upcoming Powers Bestowed audiobook. So that'll be coming up too. Some of the stuff I've been creating for it, it's hard to say at the time if we'll be able to use them or not. We'll see. But I have no problem sharing it with you. So, anyway. Well, I'd show you Ziggy, but he's crawled all the way down, and I can't get to the camera to, do that. So, just know, you'll see him more in the future, quite a bit more in the future. And I'm going to call it quits, say goodbye. Be careful out there, man. It is an evil world right now. Really evil. And like I said, this is a fight between good and evil. It's not right and left anymore. It's good and evil. And we need to really be diligent and call out evil when we see it. So, don't go crazy, and don't shoot anybody. Don't hit anybody. Be nice. Love goes an awful lot farther than hate. So, let's think about that, shall we? Well, I will see you later. Take care. God bless you. And no, why did I do that? What was I doing? Peace? I have no idea. But God bless you. And I will see you guys later. Bye.